Sharpe. Okay. Nikki Monroe. Nikki with 2 Ks. Are you still around, darling? Now we're talking about Shannon Sharpe. We're talking about Shannon Sharpe now. Okay. Shannon Sharpe and Gabrielle Zuniga. She done knew by her last name. Last name is literally Zuniga. Anyway, him and his little white girl, aka Miss 25K a cheek, settled their lawsuit. And as a matter of fact, the settlement was so good and so high and so delicious that Miss Gabriella and her non-existent tortilla cakes said she was done with OnlyFans. She said, I ain't gotta take my clothes off no more. I ain't gotta show my tonsils, my titties. I ain't gotta show my cervix or my booty hole. So let's really talk about this, Shannon. You didn't want to give your own daughter no money. You didn't want to hardly give your own kids no money. You didn't want to pay for a wedding. You didn't want to help them when they fall short. You told them they got to get out and work and earn it. But what you do, literally, you like the doo-doo because you put your meat in that girl butt, and that's really what cost you all that damn money. That girl told you stop putting that meat in her butt. Don't nobody always feel like doing anal. Don't nobody always feel like having their asshole be on fire. You retire an OnlyFans model. And now she finna move on and marry a white man and have a family, and they all finna live off your money. These ninjas make all their money just to give it right back to the same community that oppresses them and don't even recognize them as a human being, especially you, Shannon. Do you really love these white girls so much because you wish you had some white in you? Because ain't no white in you. You purely off the boat. I can look at you in a way, not just your face and your facial structure, because ain't nothing wrong with that. Black is beautiful. But you hate yourself, nigga, because you've been running from yourself. Just like you've been running down that football field, you've been running from yourself. I can tell by looking at you, you come from a long, long line of people that look just like you. And had you been with a woman that looked it just like you most likely wouldn't be in this situation today. Let me ask you something, Shannon. When you went out on that date with Cheryl Underwood back in the 90s, and y'all had a good time, and y'all had good conversation, and then you went back to her hotel room, why did you not lay no pipe up in Cheryl? Cheryl would have received you in all whole, swallowed you whole, and everything else. Why you didn't tell the truth in that interview, Shannon, that the real reason why you didn't take Cheryl Underwood to Pound Town, especially in a time where she was skinny and giving that twat to anybody that wanted it, you didn't take that girl to Pound Town because you was afraid of knocking her up and having a baby that looked like just both of y'all. Because the way your face set up and the way Cheryl's face is set up, Cheryl is your match. When you was looking at Cheryl and talking to Cheryl, when I watched that interview with you and Cheryl, I said, damn, that's his motherfucking soulmate right there. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Your soulmate is somebody like a Cheryl. Your soulmate is somebody like a Viola Davis. Maybe Octavia Spencer. That's your stilo. Your soulmate was never no fucking Nicole Murphy. You wouldn't even look right with her. Hell, Eddie didn't look right with her. Quiet as it's kept. And we know that Nicole was not Eddie's soulmate because Nicole got a real vagina. Anyway. That's who you're really compatible with. But you didn't want that. And you've been running from that all these years. The fact that your thick-tongued ass sounded like Diary of a Mad Black Woman. We heard them voice notes. You sounded so stupid and slow. Did you think you sounded sexy when you was engaging in race play with Gabrielle Sua, nigga? Let me look in this camera when I say this. Not only are you a disgrace to Chad, a disgrace to your kids. And we ain't even gonna get into the fact that you only claim that brown skinned daughter and you don't claim that dark skinned daughter. Why you got all them pictures of that brown skinned daughter all around on your Instagram and not your dark skinned daughter? But y'all ain't heard that from me neither. You a disgrace to your kids. You a disgrace to Chad. You sat up there and damn near had another grown man in tears. You scolded Chad so bad. And you know Chad look up to you. You know Chad bald-headed ass with them big old white teeth. That's all you see when Chad, like, all teeth. You know that nigga ain't never had no damn daddy. He just like Terrell Owens. They ain't know they daddy. And you know you a father figure to that man. And you scolded that man in a way that can't nobody else scold him. Because y'all close in real life. Damn near had that man in tears on live YouTube. Talking about he was going to ruin the bag because he was late. And you sit up there and ruin the bag because you can't stop putting meat in white girls' butts. Your dookie shooting chasing ass. You messed up the bag because you got to record yourself having sex with Michelle on live to prove to us that you ain't gay when we all know didn't nobody do you like Hollywood. Didn't nobody do you like Hollywood. Had you stuck with Hollywood, your ass would still be cool to this day. Hollywood never exposed you or nothing. Y'all just was seen out in public. He kept you dressed good. And let's keep it real. Ain't nobody dressed you better than Hollywood. Whoever that other lady is you talking about, that I hired her and her feelings was hurt. No, Hollywood understood you because one gay man understand a motherfucking another. In the gay community, you know how hard it is to come by a good fucking bottom. And you had a good bottom in Hollywood. You want to talk about somebody facing their karma? Nigga, you facing your karma. You threw away a good bottom. You threw away Cheryl. She is a good woman. Loyal. Cheryl would have loved you so good, nigga. Them balls would have been drained, them bank accounts would have been full, and she was still gonna let you lead. You know you so damn controlling. Want to be somebody's slave master. How dare you? You're a disgrace to your grandparents. You're a disgrace to your whole lineage. How dare you? You grew up shitting in a bucket. You grew up with an outhouse. You grew up in a house with the where you had to chop wood and literally burn wood for heat. No damn baseboards on the floor. You didn't even take a shower. You didn't take a shower till you was in college, nigga. You from the deep rural South, and your name is Shannon. You're very dark, and I know white folks put you through it back in the day. You ain't never passed the brown paper bag test ever. And you dare go engage in race play? Because that's why you really settled. That's why you really didn't want those sex tapes to come out. You and that girl had several tapes. You had hours upon hours of footage with Gabrielle Sue and nigga. But you didn't want us to see. You didn't mind us hearing you give back shots to Michelle. And as someone that's done some freaky shit and engaged in threesomes, foursomes, and orgies, y'all go back and listen to that video with Michelle. There's more than two people in that room. I heard and at the same damn time. Come on now. Somebody lying. I heard and you are a dumbass nigga. You sound stupid and you look stupid. And ever since you got out from under the tutelage of the white man, ever since you got away from Skip, you done lost your mind. How dare you? How dare you engage in race play and whipping this girl? You know what your ancestors did when they felt the whip? They were in pain. Now maybe you come from a long line of buck broken men. I don't know. The way you kowtow for white people, you probably come from a long lineage of men that lined up to get buck broken. I don't even know if it's buck breaking. If you like it, it's called fucking. You got played by a 19-year-old. You could never tell me anything. Ever. You got played by a 19-year-old. All cause what? All cause what? Cause what? Cause she white? Cause she told so? You dummy, that's an act. White women been putting on that, the Gabrielle Stewart niggas of the world, been putting on that voice for years. She plays the long game. That's what they do. And she got your ass. But you know what's another problem of yours, Shannon? You and other ninjas like you never want to pay your coochie bill. See, when that girl told you she needed $25K per cheek, you should have wrote that check. Not making her beg for it, not putting nothing through it, not saying you gonna choke the shit out of her when you see it. No, you should have wrote that check. Because if you think you're gonna be controlling somebody and running somebody and putting meat all in their butt, can't shit for days after you, and you ain't want to give her $25K per cheek. But then you go brag about making $6 million off your Cat Williams interview, but you couldn't give her $25K. See the difference between you and the Leo DiCaprios of the world, and the George Clooney's of the world, and the John Cena's of the world. They're smart enough to get a girlfriend, put her ass on contract, give her an allowance. They lay out all the terms. Not the ninjas in the industry. They wanna muck you, buck you, FUCK, run trains on you, and not pay you nothing. And if you think I'm lying, they all online talking about how they should never get y'all no money and never do nothing for y'all and never want to take y'all out. You're an idiot. You should be ashamed of yourself. Ain't nobody talking about Club Shay Shay at all. When was the last time y'all seen a clip from Club Shay Shay? I went over there and checked. Matter of fact, it ain't got so bad for you, the algorithm ain't even pushing your shit. I'm not even seeing your videos in the algorithm. Your shit got so bad, you had some girl over there rap, some girl over there rapping you then, acting like you knew the words to the lyrics. Acting like you was Oprah or something with Mariah Carey song. What about us on the Oprah Winfrey show? You didn't know who the hell that girl was, and you damn sure didn't know the lyrics to her song. Please stop. And let's go a bit deeper and dig into your mind, the way you was digging in that girl ass. When we saw the text between you and that girl, and we heard the voicemails between you and that girl, you both sounded like y'all should have rolled the short bus. You both sounded like y'all should have been in that classroom that's separate from the rest of the classrooms with the one teacher and the 6 students in it. You thought you was doing something? I want to know, did you even think that shit was sexy? Because it wasn't. You sound like an idiot. And you look even stupider. You ugly and your hairline dusty. And get rid of that fucking soul patch. I'm so sick of that shit up under your lip. Grow all that shit out and shave all that shit off. The shit looks stupid. Ain't nobody told you that. I'ma tell you. Sick of that shit too. These black men suffer from sexual depravity. Is that the right word? Depravity? Anyway, you sick. Sexual deviancy. There we go. That's the word. You're a sexual deviant. You beat that girl on video. And you didn't want us to see how you really get down. You thought you were gonna beat her? And take off the rubber and run meat up in her when she said, hey, you gotta put a condom on, and she will, okay, well maybe he's only fucking me, and then what? All you had to do was just get you a grown woman. Hey, hold on. Let me back up. These are the same kind of men that gripe about child support and gripe about they not going to get married because I don't want to pay alimony and I don't want to have half my shit taken from me, and you done had over half your shit taken from you. This news broke. You lost your $100 million podcast deal you was about to sign. And Shannon ain't got no investors. So that $100 million was coming directly to you. That white coochie from Gabrielle Sue costed you $100 million. Now, from what I've been told, my source, that girl got close to $20 million from him. She didn't get 50. She got about 19. Her attorney is taking 40%. So I think after that leaves her with about 11.3 million, something like that. I don't know if you pay taxes when you get a settlement like a judgment like that. I don't know. That I don't know. But nonetheless, you gave that girl so much money that you don't even want to give your own kids, because you really hate your children, because the truth is you hate yourself. You hate that you dark. You hate that you slow talking. You hate that you come from humble beginnings. You hate that you ugly. You hate that the only thing you've ever been good for is running the ball like a good old boy. I hate to say it, but go back to your master. Go back to Skip. You was better off when you was with Skip, and he was yelling at you, treating you like John Amos and Roots, because you thought you gave Django Unchained. I'm here to tell you, baby, you ain't never gave Django. You ain't never gave Django. Couldn't give Django if your life depended on it. Go back under the tutelage and the leadership and the authority of Skip. Skip. And you had your yak and you had your do-rag, but it kept you in line. You done lost your damn mind. So let's add it up. 100 million plus 19 million plus whatever else he lost that we don't know, being slowed down in the algorithm, however his channels have been affected. This one coochie costed you over $119 million if we're gonna be actual. And you go through all that because you don't want a wife? Why? Because you just gotta have a different coochie every day? It's coochie. Something wrong with me? Why do you have to have... It's coochie. You an old ass man. You old ass man. If you haven't done everything sexually that you want to do by now, you ain't gonna never done it. You done had men and women. What do you want? What are you looking for out here? Matter of fact, let's think about that. In 50-some years, you've never found one coochie that you wanted to lock down. I'm not talking about just have kids. I'm talking about lock down. Make that make sense. Make it make sense why you have so much trauma around your race. You grew up when they were still hanging ninjas from trees. When you grew up, you... What? You grew up around sundown towns and you go give your money to a white guy? Go figure out why you got all them control issues. Go figure out why a woman can't shit in your house. I'm sure your house has several bathrooms. Let that girl shit. So let's back up. You gonna beat them? You gonna stick it up their butt and you ain't even gonna let them shit? Oh yeah, because you said that. Let's talk about why a man like you walks around with a little bitty purse doll. You don't want no Rottweiler or nothing, no German Shepherd? You don't want, why you ain't got no guard dog? Let's talk about why you said a woman can't walk around your house naked. She has to have on clothes. Why? Why can't a woman walk around naked in your house? Why can't she just go shit in another bath? You ain't got to share a bathroom with her. You got plenty of bathrooms. This is what he said out his own mouth. That's what he said. Why? Women are human beings too. Women got bodily functions too. It's almost like you don't like the bodily functions of a woman. Or you don't like the smell of a woman. Or you don't really like the look of a woman if you're not using her as a human masturbator. You should be absolutely ashamed of yourself. If I were you, like you should just retire and disappear into oblivion. Because I mean, I'm somebody, I would read you for filth forever. Like if you interview me, you better keep it cute. You better not ask me nothing out the way, because I'm also, what about Gabriella? Like, I'm gonna want to know. You are deplorable. You have no class and you lack couth. You're fake. I think that's why I'm really like pissed off at you too, Shannon. You're fake. I think that's what we're all sensing from you. This image that you have tried to portray, you're not that at all. And then let's go back. I sat back one day and I thought about it. And I said, you know what? I'm sitting up here low key, you know, even though I've been dragging you, Shannon, I've been low key defending you, like, you know, this is a cool, she's staging, she's lying, she just wants some money, this and then the third. Then I sat back and said, what if he actually did it? What if he actually raped her? What if he actually abused her? These women ain't lying on all these ninjas. Something's going on. Everybody ain't lying. Maybe he really did do it. And maybe she just used her privilege and the law to get what she could get out of him. I'ma sit up here and continue to defend you if you're actually abusing women? I don't support that shit. I don't support that at all. Everybody ain't lying. But I got some questions for you. Why you running from yourself? You know what I want to do? I want to call Iyanla and I want her to come over with her purse and her sister locks and waddle over to you. And I want her to put a mirror up to you and I want you to tell yourself that you're beautiful and that you're worthy and that you're somebody. And maybe you can keep saying it until you finally believe it. I want to know why you only find your self-worth in the bottom of a white woman's coochie or her throat or her ass. Why? Why did you run from Cheryl? Cheryl was still throwing the draws at you in that interview. Shout out to Cheryl and her gums, her little bitty teeth. She was still throwing the coochie at you. She can't get pregnant no more. Why not take her up on the offer? You know you love you some Cheryl. You just scared of Cheryl. Because Cheryl is a reflection of you. Who you really is. What you running from. Listen, I know colorism is real. But ain't it somehow sisters have also gone through colorism and they still date black dudes? Black men go through colorism and avoid black women like the plague. And then I have to say, well, then they're stronger than us. You know, I have to say it like y'all stronger than us. I just like I sit back and think about sometimes like, wow, like a man will go through something once and make the world suffer for it. Women get hurt all the time and be like, it's okay, on to the next, and you know, it's okay. You are a sexual deviant. You're a common freak. And you need help. You need help. You're so insecure. You're so ridiculous. Have you really looked at yourself? I just want to know, have you really looked at yourself? Are you ever really gonna take accountability? I know you can't publicly because you know your attorneys and this and that. But I mean, in yourself, when you having no self talks, you look like you done lost a lot of weight. You ain't going to the gym no more. Scared you're gonna run into another Gabrielle Sue nigga? Well, you know, if you just go in public spaces and stay away from teenage girls, you would be okay. By the way, let's double back on that. Why 19? Why? Why? Why 19? Why did you have to? Why? Yes, she's an adult, but why? Why? What, cause she tight? Cause she young and she tight? It's women in their 30s, 40s, and 50s that are still tight. Still look good in the gym. What's the problem? You want some you can't handle. You want some that don't even want you. That girl didn't even want to talk to you. You stalked her and wore her down before she gave in. Which means, if we really think about it, you're so slow and so stupid. You chased a white girl down to give her your money. That's how low your self-worth and your self-value is. Because she didn't pursue you, you pursued her. And she turned you down. And then when she figured out who you was, because you know when she looked at you, you're not her type. You thought it was cute. And then you get with her and she talks about having a big black baby, and that shit turns you on. But when Cheryl wanted to have your big black baby, you ran and said you had to go to work. As if a black woman gonna ever let you be late for work. You absolutely disgust me. This is sad and this is pitiful. And you too damn old to be getting caught up like this. This young nigga shit. What's wrong with you? When you gonna grow? I guess you gotta grow up now. you saw your life flash before your eyes. I guess you got to grow up now. You talked all that stuff when this case first broke. And said, play the tape, play the tape, play the tape. Now all the tapes destroyed, you know. But guess what? Just like we learned in that Diddy trial, there's always a copy. Diddy thought he had that tape destroyed too in the Intercontinental Hotel. And Cassie came back later and got $10 million from him. There's always a copy. And let me tell you something. See, I know that you black and you slow, but on these right here, this never nothing you do in there ever goes away. So it's still somewhere. And if it magically hits the dark web or hits the internet 10 years from now, you're still gonna be embarrassed. You're still going to be embarrassed. I think I even remember back in the day when you was talking about black women and they weave. Wasn't he the one talking about y'all bitches wear horsehair, this and that? Horsehair wasn't gonna take your 19 million. Had you been, hell, really think about it. You said, and I think one time you even said you didn't want to be with a black woman because you didn't want to pay for her to get her hair done. You didn't want to pay for it. You didn't want to pay for weave. I'd rather pay for weave than pay 19 million and lose 100 million. I'd rather pay for some weave. What's the problem? Well, that's that. What can we say? What can we say? He has literally made my head hurt. Literally. Let me read y'all comments here. Y'all know I'm cutting that out, right? I'm cutting that segment out, and we're uploading that. Will said that. Thank you for the donation. Will said that 19-year-old just ran some game on an old trick. 19-year-olds don't come the way they used to. Yup, suckers are in trouble. You think you getting over, but whole time was getting played. Whole time. That's what I don't like. Like, you let this girl played you. Let's see. Thank you, Vitamin H2O. You said stay on his country's net. Storm of the self-hate is real. It's real. It is. Clip this first, please. I feel like I can call it a night after that. Woo! What am I gonna title this segment? Storm goes in on Shannon? I don't know. Who you think trained her? I don't know. I will say this though. I do believe she was encouraged to file this lawsuit by one of his ops. Somebody somewhere did not want Shannon to sign that $100 million podcast deal. Shannon has lost away. Now she about to spend money on some young ping. Yep, that she actually wants to sleep with and be with. That's another thing. That's another thing. You think she actually likes sleeping with you? What? Shannon got to do OnlyFans. Might as well. Storm goes at night. Shaq did it. Speaking of Shaq, Shaq got 4 white girls living with him, cooking and cleaning. So, Just Hilarious already exposed that. So we'll see how that turned out. And Shaq want to move to Dallas. Ain't Shaq from Texas? But yeah, I think he's looking in the North Dallas area, I think. But yeah, he gonna bring them white girls with him too. I'll wait on that lawsuit as well.
It's a storm show. Ay, it's a storm show.